So, hair. Welcome to the lesson about hair. This is going to be a drawing tutorial about all different types of hair because people have different types of hair. So I have some great examples up here of different types of hair. So you have the straight hair, which you have to draw a certain way. Then you also have the curly hair, which would give you more spirals when you're drawing. You also have the boy's haircut, where the hair is on the top of the head and it kind of flips out. So I'll show you how to draw that one as well. And then you have the curly hair that is over here. So I'll show you the kind of motion you would use for that kind of hair. Now, with all of these types of hair, you do need value changes, you need highlights, and what is required for this lesson is definitely a pencil. You want to make sure it's sharp, a blending tool, and then you want an eraser as well. I'm going to draw 4 types of hair. So I'm going to just cut this paper in fourths. That'll make it easier. So much easier. So you have your straight hair. Your straight hair is simply going to be lines. And I'm basically looking at that picture. How would you depict that onto paper? It's going to be many lines that come together. And you're going to do that whole form. And just keep going with it. The thing about straight hair is that you do have a variation in lines. Some are darker than others. And you can do separate lines here for the hair. But what I would do before you do that part is go ahead and just kind of smudge this together, just so. Now, you can actually draw with the eraser. How do you do that? You take your eraser and literally create lines with your eraser down. And you hold the eraser on the point right on the corner. And then go down. Now, obviously, you don't have big blocks of white blocks in your hair, so you want to smooth those out just with your finger, but kind of leave those highlights just in there just slightly. Then go back in with your lines inside the value changes and create hair. Now is when you make lines within that form. So now you're layering just quick lines to show that it's straight hair and it's long hair. Okay? And you keep going. Now, if this person really had their hair kind of in the light, a lot of light was hitting it, then you would go ahead and pull out some more highlights, of course, because that's where the light is hitting that hair. Okay, So I think we have the straight hair down. You have to picture a face kind of in here. Like I said, it's just a tutorial on different types of hair. So I'm gonna move on to the one that's right above it. It's the curly hair. You're gonna do this motion with curly hair, and you're gonna double line it to create curly hair. So when someone kind of has really big locks in their hair and it's curly and full, you just bring them out like this and then do a turn. And you just keep doubling them. It almost looks like a tornado in the end, but you keep doubling that. Now for this hair, once you have the form and it looks curly, you go ahead and shade. And shade. So you shade this whole thing. Another way to draw hair is just with a stick of charcoal, but I'm using a pencil. So as you see, once you have it filled in, fill in the values with your finger and just kind of smooth it out. And then smooth it out some more. I'm pulling out the highlights now. Same thing as you did over here. You're pulling out your highlights. So you're taking your eraser and you're taking it and removing some of the lead again. Like I said, it's an adding and subtracting process. Keep going. Like I said, you gotta have movement in this one for it to look kind of curly. So you may have more than one curl in there. And then you would like hair has repetitive lines in it, so you would create that. Keep going. So I am going to move on to kind of the boy's haircut. So this is more for a boy's haircut, or maybe a girl that has short hair, when the hair is kind of short and then it's flipping up. So I'm going to just do the top part of the head for a boy. And then you want to just look at the way the hair is flipping up. Sometimes it's coming up in the front, especially with the longer boy haircuts, but then it's still kind of short. And you want to break it up once again, especially with a boy's cut, into kind of bigger shapes that you're seeing. So if they have bangs, put those in. And it's just lines over and over again, once again. And then they might have some go this way. So it's very directional with a boy's haircut. It's either going this way or it's coming up in the front and then over. And then over. So boys haircut doesn't take long to create, but you are gonna create value changes within that hair as well. So I would go ahead and shade if this is going around the face. For a boy's haircut, you are gonna put some highlights in there. And then maybe some more hairlines too. So it's like I said, it's a lot of back and forth. And there's gonna be movement too. It's just shorter lines because it's a shorter haircut. So as you see, that drawing hair is very directional. So you're either going straight up and down, shading, curled, or you're kind of doing every direction with the shorter haircut. So it's whatever kind of haircut you're actually doing. Or curly hair. So basically you want to create curls, and the way you would do that is it would be like this, and then again, and again, and again, and then right here, and right here. And basically you're going to double these lines. So once you have one line down, go ahead and double it. Depending how thick the hair is, that depends how thick you make that line. But just to show you, you're going to double the line, double it, double it, double it, double it, and then let it go down. So that's how you create that kind of really curly hair. Go ahead and shade it in and continue to shade it in. And then you keep going. And then all the way down. And then you
Yes, it's recording.
Then you go ahead and smudge it with your finger because you do want it to look smooth. And you go all the way up. Sometimes the finger doesn't work in this situation because you've got curly lines that are a little bit too tightly woven together, so you may want to use your blending tool in this situation. So then you go in and kind of just go ahead and blend those together. Okay, so as you see now, it looks like one big value, so it's all like one big middle value. Go in and create an extra line here. And just have one of those lines kind of popping forward just a little bit when you're creating hair. And then take that middle part and put it out. Okay, so this is curly hair. This is kind of wavy to curly hair, bigger curls. This is really small curls. Then you have your boy's haircut or a short girl's haircut. And then you have the straight hair right here. And I'm just gonna make it bold so you can kind of see it a little bit. All of these would be how to draw hair. After you have these curls in here, you can go back in and literally get your highlights out of here really slowly, out of each one if you want to. And then have the highlights kind of outline with a darker outline. And these curls in here, you can go back in and literally get your highlights out of here really slowly, out of each one if you want to. And then have the highlights kind of outline with a darker outline, and it'll completely pop forward then for you. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to pick different types of hair. So no matter what type of hair you have, maybe you can fit in one of these 4 types of hair into the one you're drawing. Do have fun with this, and like I said, once you break up hair into shapes, value changes, and lines,